Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I'll be answering this question of whether you should inform your abusive ex or the abuser or your abusive partner that you are leaving the relationship. It's one of those questions which may be quite controversial, but I'm going to answer it in the best way possible because it's one of those questions actually which will linger in the back of your mind when you are thinking of leaving that marriage or when you are thinking of leaving that relationship. Like, should you tell them about it or should you tell them that you're breaking up with them? And the thing is, your moral side, moral in quotes, will always try to convince you that the right thing to do when leaving someone you love or when leaving a relationship is to tell your partner. It's to tell your partner that you're leaving. You may also think that by informing them, you will get the necessary closure. You will get the necessary closure on the relationship. And also, those close to you, let's say your family or friends who may not really understand the dynamics of abuse and manipulation, will echo those sentiments and also tell you that the best thing to do for any relationship is to just tell them. Like, just tell them you'll be doing the right thing, or it's not really good to just leave without telling them. While, of course, it may seem morally right to inform the abuser or to inform your partner that you are leaving the relationship, it's never the best thing to do. In fact, like, the thing called moral code, which you are trying to adhere to, was actually thrown out of the window the moment they abused you. Because the moment someone abuses you and then others are not listening to you, it means that there is no moral code there. Not even once. They lied to you, not even once, but countless times. Therefore, like, using morality as a way to judge your actions or to gauge your actions when dealing with someone who's abusive is never really advisable. The best thing to do is not to inform not to inform them that you're leaving. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3 reasons why you should never inform your abuser that you are leaving. Of course, it will depend on the kind of relationship you're in, or it will depend on the scenario you're in. But the best thing to do is to never tell them about it. The first thing is, of course, safety concerns. You see, the thing about someone who's abusive, they may not take that decision lightly. Because, of course, you know them so much, they're so hot-headed, like high-tempered. They get angry so much because they mostly struggle to regulate their emotions. So informing them that you are leaving will, of course, trigger some of their deep-seated insecurities. And when this happens, it can lead to they can become so dangerous or even violent towards you. They may become, of course, extremely angry, extremely furious, with rage, or even physically aggressive, since their control is being threatened, since, like, you leaving is threatening their control. And actually, in many cases, they may even turn hostile towards you and act impulsively, because an abusive person always acts on impulse, so they may act without considering the consequence of their actions, and this can put you at great risk, especially if you are, like, confronting them physically or in a private place. Like, let's say if you are telling them about you leaving the relationship and then you are just together at home. And the thing is, since you've been with them for a while, you already know that there are moments when they react explosively to small things happening in their life. Let's say traffic, or just when there's no power. Now I want you to imagine the reaction once you tell them that you're leaving. It won't be something you'd want to see. It would be so extreme, and you would not want to be caught in the middle of that. Another thing is also, if you inform the abuser that you're leaving, their actions may be emotionally hurtful to you. They may resort to calling you names, calling you like a whore, or calling you like someone who sleeps around, blaming you, gaslighting you. They may do that to the point that you start even doubting your decision. And you may find yourself, like, feeling so bad about yourself than even before you told them about the decision. And you might even begin to question your decision to leave, which may make you to stay in that relationship. The second reason why you should never tell them is emotional manipulation. Like, they are good at convincing you, they are good at persuading you to stay, and they may also make you question your decision. They are very, very skilled at this. I know you know it. I know you know they are so skilled to the point that they've been manipulating you over and over again too. That they'll change their behaviors. They've been manipulating you over and over again about what they did. And the thing is, they also know your weaknesses and vulnerabilities to the core, and they really know how to exploit them. And the thing is, when you've been in this kind of relationship, you may be so traumatized and you're struggling to understand your own boundaries. You have low self esteem. So, when you have low self esteem and don't know your boundaries, you'll be so vulnerable to their manipulation. So, if you are informing them, you risk being swayed by their words. Even though you know, like, leaving is the best decision for your well being, they are really good at what they do. So, what normally happens is, on the soft side, they may love bomb you and fill your mind with false hope that they're going to change their behaviors. They may tell you the thing that they love you so much. They may confess their love for you and even reflect those deep desires you may miss out on if you leave the relationship. Like, they may talk about, do you remember the home we talked about? I'll do this for you. So it will all be about playing with your emotions and making you feel good, which may make you drop that decision of leaving the abusive relationship. Yeah, so showering you with sweet things so that you can remain in the relationship. And if that doesn't work, actually, the abuser may resort to playing with your fears and insecurities. So, of course, they may threaten your life, they may threaten to ruin your life, they may threaten to expose your dark secrets. Let's say they have your nudes or something, they may threaten to expose those to your friends and family. They may threaten to take away your money. These are common one. Or just anything which affects your ability to live life like more independently. They may also, of course, as I've said before, like, gaslight you and make you believe that you will end up being alone or no one else will ever want to date you, and you will end up even questioning your worth as a human being. They may also guilt trip you by stating something like, they've sacrificed so much for the relationship for you to leave, like they've done a lot for you to leave. And or they might even go to the extent of telling you that I won't last a day if you leave. And they need you so much in their lives now because they are depressed. They'll just play with your sympathetic center. That is why you should not inform them. They know how to get to you. They know how to exploit your empathy. They know how to exploit your caring nature. And you may still lack the necessary self-belief or deep belief in yourself to stand for yourself and see through their threats and empty promises. That's why when you cut off contact completely without telling them, like, or without warning, you will not be there to listen to those lies. You will not be there to listen to those threats. I just want you to imagine that. Like, you're not listening to them. The last reason why you should not tell them is not telling them is more like your first step to taking your power back. You see, like, when you follow through your decision to leave without informing them, it can be so empowering and affirming that you really deserve a better life. Like, by choosing to leave instead of talking to them about the relationship, you are like taking full control of your life and acknowledging that abuse is not something for you to tolerate, or abuse is not something you want to be part of. It's like telling yourself, in quotes, like, I do not negotiate with terrorists, or I do not negotiate with someone who's terrorized my life. Because the moment you are informing them, it's more like a negotiation. It's more like there's a part of you telling you, nah. But when you just leave without telling them, it's like showing that person who has ruined your life, who has made your life a living hell, like a middle finger, and choosing to prioritize yourself. And by keeping those plans private or to yourself, you are asserting your independence and prioritizing your well-being. And this would be one of those foundational steps which will steer you forward in your healing journey. Like, finally, you are making a decision for yourself. Like, finally, you are making a huge decision for you, not anyone else, but just for you. So it can be very, very empowering not to inform them. So those are the three reasons. Hope you found them helpful. Yeah, living is not easy, but whatever you do, always prioritize the safest route for you when you're living. Of course, all this will depend on your situation. It will depend on the country you are in or the kind of relationship you're in. But you have to understand that leaving the relationship is not actually leaving the relationship. It's more of escaping. In fact, like I read an amazing analogy on Quora, which says that you are the prison, and then the prison warden is the abuser, and then prison guards are your family and friends who support the abuser. So the thing you have to do is you don't need to inform the prison warden and the guards that you are escaping prison, because they will try to keep you in. You don't need to inform the narcissist that you are escaping the prison, or to inform those people who side with the narcissist that you are escaping the prison, because they will try to pull you back. Yeah, it may not be an easy decision, and as I've said, like, it depends on your circumstances, but the thing is, always choose the decision that keeps you safe. And there might be also this trap of assuming that they will react positively, but instead of just trying to inform them, how about you ask yourself a question like, why do you want to inform them? If the answer is because it's a moral issue, don't even try to inform them. Morality only applies in a sane environment. But when you are dealing with a serial manipulator, those things about good and bad never really apply. And that's why it's always recommended to go no contacts and prioritize your safety first. You can go no contacts, prioritize your safety, and then now focus on that divorce or that moving forward. And if you can't really stop yourself from informing them, like you can't stop yourself from informing them, then you can do it in public, or you can send them a message when you are miles away where they can't hurt you physically. But of course, it's not advisable, but when you really feel that you can't do it. Hope you found that informative, guys. So the best thing to do is not to inform them, drop the morality stuff, and just focus on you. Until next time, feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. And if you recently left that abusive relationship and you are wondering where to start, you can book a free breakthrough call with me, or you can also check my masterclass on how to break free from these past abusive patterns for good. Until next time, have a wonderful day.